and it's Caden buries it. Golden Company Elephants going on to the championship. Oh my God, they got it.
Passes on goal, wraparound score. North shoots right on that audacity. It's in his face. It's in.
And welcome to the Season 3 Playoff Preview Show. I am Scribbles McNasty, and I am joined by two of my buddies this go-round, and the ever-dancing Sir Mike Knight here to my left. Mike, how you doing, bud?
Playoff time, baby. Playoffs!
That's right. That's right. It all comes down to this now. So the previous stuff does not matter. We are into playoff time, but it's not just you and me. We are also joined by the brains of this operation. To my right side here, we have Rye Guy. Rye, how you doing, man?
Doing good over here. Excited for this evening. Excited for the playoffs starting tomorrow, and it's gonna be awesome. We got a lot to break down this evening and a lot to cover. And so yeah, pumped for this evening. How are you guys doing?
I am jazzed. I am ready to do it. I know I weighed in a little bit on the show that came out today, actually. So people have heard what I have to say for the most part, but I promise more. And really, we want to hear about what you guys have to say. So I think before we actually get into the playoffs, though, we have some end of the season business to handle, and that is the Week 6 Players of the Week. So before we get cracking on everything else, here we go. It was just the one night, so yeah, it's going to be heavy on specific teams. And there we have goalie getting it done. What is that? 22 points? Math is hard. That's pretty good. Pretty good, Mike.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, in one night. Mike, what do you think of goalie?
Goalie's very, very solid. And just that whole forward line of talent show is scary. Swizz and Young last season were scary. I mean, they did hit a brick wall. But mixing goalie there, and it's just even scarier.
Agreed. They're better than they were last season as gold standard. So. And one of the things that is better about them is their defense overall, because there's our defender of the week in Senor Presidente El Cruel Bloom. Cruel, 12 assists. Good job. Must be nice to just pass it up there and then watch these guys just score goals. That sounds great.
You know what I'm not seeing in that is his penalty minutes. Just saying.
He doesn't like to show us those. He keeps those secret.
If I was him, I wouldn't want to show him either.
Yeah. And another guy who we'll be seeing or talking about a lot and in the near future, I would consider him a Vezina finalist for sure. Zucky, the goalie for Some to Prove. This dude's been absolutely... yeah, absolutely outstanding. So he's been good. You've gotten firsthand look at him, right, Mike?
Oh, I freaking love Zucky. Not only is he just a spectacular goaltender, but he's hilarious in 2 different languages.
Yeah, we played some club recently, and it was a real good time. I like that dude. He's a funny guy, and absolutely phenomenal goalie. If anybody has a chance at the Vezina, it's him. Him and Title are, I would say, the 2 favorites. But we'll talk more about those at another time. Ragai, you got to watch all of this all season long. What do you think of these guys?
Man, these guys, week and week again, as we see, they're on the top of the Players of the Week leaderboards. You see the messages that we send, and they're usually in the top 5. These guys, talent show, the squad as a whole, just awesome, as we know. And Cruel Bloom being a good addition to the back end this season, and goalie complementing Swizz and Young on the forward line. It's both these 2 guys are solid. And then, as you guys keep talking about, Zucky, great goalie, going to be in the Vezina contention this season. And yeah, just shout out to the Week 6 Players of the Week. No surprise here, in my opinion.
I agree. These were all, each one of these guys is a top end player at their position. So no super big surprises here. I will give a little shout out. I see Zucky in the chat. Like, good job, man. Well done.
Love you too, Zucky.
Congratulations.
Love you too.
I love
All homo.
But yeah, so I imagine we'll see all three of these guys here in our next little segment because we have put together the top plays of the regular season. As you guys submit these things, I told you if you submit them, we'll take a look at them. And so, true to our word here, that is what has been done. So let's take a quick look at the top plays throughout all of season 3 for Rink Rivals this go round.
Carries your sorry ass. The toxic legends lived up to their name, and they all decided to go touch some grass. Synergy with this big dick energy, stepping up once again to lead a team with confidence. Under the heart of this better player experience. The blue sticks are at the bottom because they're shit, but at least their captain had the balls to go down with the shit.
Action in that, including that last one by title, that's the kind of stuff you get out of a Vesna finalist right there. Sprayed out, legs up in the air, all acting crazy and still saving the puck. So
A lot of young breakaways.
Yeah. We saw a lot of play submissions by Talent Show. So that's clearly why there was a lot in that montage there. But as we keep preaching, submit your plays. We can do another playoff montage for season 3 and going into season 4. Guys, get your highlights in so we can do more of these because they're fun to do, and I know the community likes watching them too. So yeah, please, by all means, keep going.
Yes, keep it up. They lots of goalie stuff. I like to see goalies putting themselves out there, getting a little love because they get forgot on a nightly basis, it seems. So good to see them in a lot of these highlights. Well done. All right. But this is not about the past season. This is about the future playoffs. So why don't we switch over and take a quick
Season
look.
doesn't matter anymore. Season doesn't matter.
True.
That's right. The seeding is
It all
done.
gets erased.
Yep. You're absolutely right. And we have some pretty good matchups. Some, I'm going to go out on a limb and say some lopsided matchups as well. But let's just go ahead and look at this. We got the talent show in Wall Street. I'm just going to go through it real quick, and then we're going to talk specifics about each one of these. So we have talent show in Wall Street, Vorpal Swords and Decks, Some to Prove, and Just Gonna Send It, and Fellowship and Backdoor Bandits. Now, Ragai, why don't you tell us once for the second round, how does the seeding work?
It reseeds. I'm pretty sure that's how he did it. So
I think
essentially,
okay.
After the first round, highest seed will play lowest seed.
Right.
Vice
It is
versa.
not like what I'm getting at really is that though this looks like a bracket,
Yeah,
the winner of Wall Street and Dex, the winner of Wall Street and Talent Show does not play the winner of Dex and Vorpal
not
Swords.
necessarily. No,
Not
Could
necessarily. So
whoever the lowest.
Yeah.
Probably, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
very, very possibly. Yeah. So, but yeah, so this is where we're at currently. You know what? Before we even get specifics, Mike, is there any particular matchup here that you like more than any other that you just think is going to be the most entertaining?
Some to Prove versus Just Gonna Send It. I know Fat Al's in the chat, making fun of me for hopping on that Something to Prove bandwagon, but Just Gonna Send It is a damn good team and not one to be taken lightly, going up against Something to Prove, who I believe they won 6 out of the last 6, didn't they?
Oh, more than that. I think they
Something
were
to
on
prove. Won the last 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was 15.
They're on a hot streak. They're on a hot streak at the right time. I get it. It's playoffs, and playoff jelly may come out after getting first rounded last season.
Yeah, 5 series sweeps in a row to close it out is pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah,
It's
all right.
Honestly, it's the least. It's one of the least lopsided games here.
Agreed. I think the 2 middle matches are significantly tighter. Some to prove, and just going to send it being one that I'm particularly interested to see as the battle of the QCs. I worry that Talent Show and Wall Street and Fellowship and Backdoor Bandits could get lopsided. I know Swizz had some alternate opinions about the Backdoor Bandits, but so this is where we're at. Why don't we go ahead and just dive right on in? We'll start with, I believe, Wall Street and Talent Show.
Before we do, I will not be talking about the Vorpal Swords.
Okay. Are you on them or something?
Yes. I don't talk about my own team. Never have, never will.
Okay.
All right.
That's
no
fine.
worries. That is okay, but
that is fair. But first, yeah. Talent Show and Wall Street first. So
start from the top. Here we go. So first we'll get into the head-to-head stats, then we'll go over the featured players of the series, the lineups, and then, although he's not here, he is here in the chat and in spirit. Fat Al's studs for each series. We'll go over those as well too. So let's break down each of these matchups, starting with the first one here.
That's right. Though he could not make it, we still made him do work. So
yes,
Fat Al has done his studs. This is going to be a tough one for Wall Street. Just looking at these numbers, every single stat is in favor of Wall Street, except for takeaways. You know what? They have fewer giveaways too, so I'll give them that. Unfortunately, they have more takeaways, probably due to the fact that they had the puck less. This is going to be rough. They're going to have to come out and really, really take a strong start and, try to ride that for as long as possible.
Yeah, I would agree. They need some sort of momentum boost going into these games. On paper and pretty much everywhere else, Talent Show is the team to beat here. I think it's going to take a miracle for Wall Street to come out of this one. I mean, crazy things can happen. It's the playoffs, as we see time and time again. Anybody can do anything if you're a hot team, but Wall Street has their work cut out for them, I think, in my opinion here.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think?
I got Huge on the phone, and and I asked him to do me a favor, and he said, "I got you. You may see Swizz playing defense again. Just throwing that out there. If that happens, then Wall Street.
Whose line are we taking out?
Bannock, you better look around every corner over your shoulder at all times. Oh, you go.
Can't do your guy Bannock like that. It's got to be Cruel. Take out Cruel.
I can't do Bannock, dude. Not my medium-sized man.
There we go. I do have a question though. As we go into this next portion, because he is on this list, I believe. Are we going to see Young's first ever career playoff points in the series? I'm going to venture out to say probably obviously, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to go first minute of the first game.
Yeah. If he finishes this series, I expect this to be a 4-game series. No offense to anyone on Wall Street, but I just expect it to be a 4-game series. And if Young finishes with less than, I would say, 16 points, I would be blown away.
Oh, let me clear this up. I'm not talking about killing you, Cruel Bloom. I'm talking about knocking down your power line. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes. Killing your power.
Temporary inconvenience for a couple days.
But the players to watch here, these are Fat Al's players to watch. We have
these ones aren't Fat Al's.
These are the players to watch
in each position who are players that stand out in each team.
You know what I see is a bunch of people that I like. Duchesne, Earl and Derek are all great people, and Earl has been a fantastic demon on a team that has struggled. So it's hard to be a sort of top end defenseman on struggling teams, and he's done a great job of it. Duchesne's been fantastic as well, although pretty famously got benched for a couple games. But he came back and did extremely well. And Derek's great, fills in nicely. He's also been excellent playing defense. So if need to, he can slot in for that. Mike, you look like you want to say something.
No. I mean,
Okay.
on paper, this was the team to beat coming out of week one was Wall Street, and just to see how far they fell. It's lose one person and the whole house of cards crumbles.
Yeah, but you know what? They got what they needed out of that one player. It is because of him that they're even in this position. Because if they hadn't had the start they had, we'd be talking about the Yetis right now.
You can see their season trajectory just slowly on the incline from all the way at the top to start, and then each week slowly going down and down and down, but managed to get it done and still secured that 8th and final playoff spot despite being 3 games under 500. They're still in the playoffs, so you never know. Anything can happen.
Hey, playoff Rob's a different beast.
Yes, shout out to Rob.
Side,
second season. Doing better.
I will say, Rob, much better this go around. If nothing else, you have a team that looks like it's playing together better, regardless of the ends. So, yeah, I know, Rufio. Whatever. Anyways, talk about the lineups for the Yetis. Let's look at the players to watch real quick for a talent show. It's only the highest scoring forward, arguably the best forward in the league. In Young, Cruel Bloom at any moment could be the best D-man in the league. And We the People, aka Titletown, arguably the best goalie in the league. So yeah, no, good luck, Wall Street. You're only up against 3 of the best players at the best positions. I wouldn't
points
want
per
that
game
task.
is insane. 4.27 points per game for Young is that's next level.
And over a full season.
Yes,
like we're not talking
cherry pick.
5 games.
Played every single game this season.
Hey, don't forget to attack Bannock. Don't forget to attack Bannock. Attack Bannock.
They're
Wall Street.
What? Here is my analysis of this. You want to get a little granular because I love to talk numbers. I'm just going to point out that there is one player in the playoffs right now as a starting player who has 0 goals. Do you want to take a guess at who that one player is?
Probably Bannock.
Is it Bannock?
It's Bannock.
Okay.
And it's not.
The man doesn't shoot.
And
no.
He can't. It's not even his fault. He is left-handed on the left side. But I'm telling you right now, as you go farther into these playoffs and you start playing against teams like Some to Prove or Fellowship, if they end up against them, it's gonna be a problem because Talent Show, are a 3-man front in the offensive zone, whereas teams like Some to Prove and Fellowship are 5 players in the D zone, and so it's gonna get harder, and they're gonna need Bannock to provide some sort of threat. He's such a good D-man. We played a bunch recently.
I don't think they do. They just need him to keep playing his defense. Bannock is a defensive guy. He does not need to be offensive. He's that good on defense.
Well, it's not about how good he is on defense. It's about how good his team is on offense, because they will be playing 4-on-5 essentially every time. And I know it's been working for him, but over a 7-game series on a team like Fellowship or Some to Prove, you're going to be you're making it harder on yourself. So they'll need to feed it to him at some point and get some kind of...
I completely disagree with you there. There's 4 other people on the ice that can score. Bannock doesn't need to.
Oh man, but it's so much better if he does. Like even if he just takes a shot and suddenly that forward has to cover him. Anyways, I don't want to dig too deep into it, but I love Bannock.
One thing I will say about Bannock is he does shoot for rebounds quite often.
Yeah,
he just doesn't have that one cheap shot.
Right, and he's got a bunch of assists, and so While
Yep.
I will say, Bannock, when we played with Zucky, I played with Bannock as well. Fantastic dude to play with. He played the right side and he got goals and all kinds of stuff. So I think we see him in the future go to full-time right D, and he's just gonna be a killer out there. So
I agree with Rob. Leave Bannock alone. You're always criticizing his game. You're always talking
now-
about crashing his side. The
Yep.
hate on Bannock needs to stop, Scribs.
I love Bannock.
I promise it's not hate. I love the dude, but that is always the better advice. If you got to choose between one or the other. Although this time, as defensively strong as Bannock has been, it might not be the worst idea to go Cruel's way and try to coax him into one of
Penalty.
his his flybys. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Alright.
Easy. I know. Anyways, all right. Let's go look at. Now we're on to Fat Al's.
No,
studs,
no,
right?
not yet, not
Oh.
yet, not yet.
Oh,
One more
man, I'm
thing.
so-
We got one more thing. It's okay.
One
we
more.
got the projected lineups. So these lineups, that all the managers haven't submitted their lineups yet for the matchups. So we're going based on what we've seen recently. So they might not be correct. We just talked about Derek being top G, but we haven't slotted in the right D here. So things can change, but these are projected as to usually what players have been playing recently. So yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. So
Let's
the
slide
big match-
Swizz back to right D. And
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know who
Control,
their
Alt,
backup
delete.
is. Their backup center is.
Control Alt Delete you gets his shot in the playoffs.
There you go.
Yeah. The real matchup, the big matchup here, is Young versus Helen Scheller, right?
Yeah,
That's
Young's going
gotta
to be
be the one.
attacking that side for sure. That's. Go ahead. Sorry.
He's their number one puck carrier, and so Earl's going to have his hands full. Earl and Rob need to sort of team up on that one.
Yeah.
That's the big one for me.
I think if you're Wall Street, Young is the guy that has the puck the most. You take one guy and you shadow him in the offensive zone. That would be my strategy. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but what's at stake here. You know what Young's about to do. Stick
What
on
you
him
need
is
is
my
a-
suggestion.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
you need a defensive-minded D-man covering Young at all times. Don't let him get behind you. Play it like you're a safety in football. Don't let the man behind you. Always stay in front. If you can do that, you force him to pass. I mean, he's a dangerous passer too, but it's a little bit better than letting him on that breakaway.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The problem here is that between Earl and Derek, Earl is the two-way, slightly offensive guy,
Yes.
and Derek is the full-on defensive guy, and so they're on the wrong sides. But we'll see. If they cover Young too strong, it doesn't really matter because goalie is also a fantastic puck carrier.
That's
Everyone's
what I
just
was
skate
gonna
with it.
say. We could talk about how amazing Young is, but there's a reason that Talent Show is finished first overall in the season. Swizz, goalie, and Young together as a trio up front is it's pretty top notch, top tier this season. And covering Young might not be enough to stop Swizz and goalie. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about Wall Street's chances in this one. I'm sorry, Rob and Co.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
The more you look at it, right? All right. Well,
Yeah.
now, please,
Now it's time.
can we look at Fatals or
We
Fat
can.
Al's studs?
We got it. We
Okay.
finally got it. Here we go. So this is what Fat Al has provided us as his studs. And here we go. Who he thinks is going to be the standout players of each series.
Easy call for the talent show. What do you make of Faisar being the projected stud for Wall Street, Mike?
I think it's all about Duchesne. You're going to need to run it through Duchesne, whether Duchesne's setting up the plays or the one scoring. Faisar is very talented, but in my opinion, Duchesne's better.
I think Faisar's the finisher, and Duchesne is your setup guy. I think that's what they will see, and Rob's going to try to grind. That's the way I would. Or Rob is going to follow Young around. Is what's going to end up happening. He's going to follow Young everywhere, and Duchesne and Faisar are going to have to work. And I think Faisar is the finisher, and Duchesne is the setup. So I think Young is the everything, and will do just fine with his spin moves and his very, very late cross crease passes that somehow still get through and frustrate every defenseman in the league. So he's good, man. I think both of these are good choices.
No, I agree. I mean, shout out to Fazar Gamblaus's farewell tournament champion manager. So he knows a thing or two about playing in some tough games. And yeah, I think, like you said, he's the more goal-centric player on the team. Duchesne has the puck more and can feed Czar. And I mean, Duchesne's a great player himself as well and can finish it too. But I think this is a good pick. Czar and Young, like you said, no mistake. They're 100% him. And
that's easy.
It's a toss-up
between
Czar and Duchesne. Yes, exactly.
I don't think anybody's going to argue Young is the stud of talent show.
Although,
sure.
before he can be the stud all he wants, but he's got to show up in the playoffs. We can talk about him up and down, but we have not seen him perform well yet in the playoffs. And sorry, go ahead. Yes.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was gonna say if Wall Street has a game plan to shut down Young and no, I don't know what to say because I don't.
You can't even finish the sentence. You can't even do it.
It's not gonna happen. But go ahead. Sorry, continue. I don't know. I want to feel positive for them, but I just
if Young shows up like he did last season in the playoffs, you still got goalie.
Young,
this is true.
Here's my thing. Young did not get a point in the playoffs last season when his main partner up front, Swissworld, had to play defense instead of forward. True. And that game was out of hand. And you cry. I'm saying that Young, for as good as he is, it is better if he has another elite player with him.
Wiz makes Young who Young is. That's essentially what you just said.
Anyways, all right. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into the next series, as I believe this is Dex and Purple Swords. Yes,
yeah, Mike. You can shut your mic off now. You can go take a coffee break.
Mike's gonna take a nap on this one.
You don't want me to get up. You said pants were optional.
Yeah, well, no one else can see you, so.
And we're back into the studio
put that thing away.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Anyways, all right, moving on. On to bigger matters. Let's talk about the Dex and the Vorpal Swords. A much, much closer matchup here, as we have the 4th and 5th seeds. Yeah, the Vorpal Swords took it in the regular season, including 2 overtime games. I don't think either one of these teams had the lineups that we will see in the first round of the playoffs when they actually played against each other. I know the Dex had backups, and I don't think the Vorpal Swords had completed all their trades yet. Fatal's still saying the Dex the Swords don't shoot enough.
Agreed, Fatal. Me and him preach that time and time again in the broadcast. Vorpal Swords.
I will just point out they have 3 more shots on the season than the Dex do.
Well, we don't feature the Dex enough. We don't have enough time to shit on them as well. Clearly, it's the Vorpal Swords. That is good plenty of time. Yes. No, but these stats are crazy. When I was looking at the stats and putting this together, just the discrepancy between each stat is so close together. I mean, these teams are 4th and 5th in the standings, so clearly there's a reason for that. They're evenly matched, and I think this is going to be a toss-up between these two teams this series. It could go either way. It all just depends on who comes to play these 2 games, or 2 nights. Sorry, I can't talk.
That's okay. Yeah, the only thing I see here is that the Dex are a little more of a possession team, and the Swords are a little more of a run and gun kind of team. So if the Dex can slow them down a whole lot, they might see some success in that regard. And if the Vorpal Swords can push the pace, then they might do a little bit better. But both of these are going to be physical heavy teams, because we have You Got Mail, aka Costa, on the Swords, and I'm sure Bardown is playing for the Dex, and he's a big body checker kind of guy. So I would expect a physical game, and a tale of 2 different paces here. Swords want to go fast, Dex want to go slow. So we'll see how that all plays out.
This is one of the series I'm most looking forward to. Just it's so even.
I agree. This, the unfortunate part of the top teams is that the top two teams are pretty lopsided in their matches, but these two middle ones are going to be something else. So this will be a good one. It'll be a good chance to look at rookie goalie in Hulk Smash, who has been absolutely outstanding all season long, and I would say arguably third in the league. Title and Zucky probably take that, but Hulk Smash not far behind. Dude's been incredible.
Yeah, he's a beast for sure.
All right, let's take a look at those projected lineups.
Featured matchups, players to watch first.
Players to watch first. I'm gonna figure it out eventually. I don't see your name up there, Mike. Are you?
He asked me to not put it there on purpose because he didn't want the spotlight. But
that's right here.
I'm trying to sneak in. It's
just under the radar.
Under the radar kind of guy. Yeah. It's hard to be under the radar when you're a second round pick.
I wasn't.
You're forever.
Not this season.
They'll sell yourself short. But players to watch the next side.
Played most of my freaking season on the bully sticks, so
that's you know what? Everyone's got to pay their dues, right? Pay the bully stick tax. But let's talk about the decks. Players to watch: Street, Frackside, top end forward. He, especially when you get him with his buddies, he'll be playing with Chandler and Bar Down. So fantastic guy there. Honestly, I'm surprised his numbers aren't even better than they are, because he is sort of a game-changing kind of forward. McGilla playing defense. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's what his recent games were at. He's all over the place. Yeah. Mags gets around.
He is their backup goalie. He was supposed to be their main goalie. He became their backup goalie as Hulk Smash sort of exploded. Although I'm being told that Hulk Smash can play defense, but I hate to break it to you, buddy. You showed that you're a good goalie, and now that's all you're allowed to be. That's just how that goes. But Mags is a good defender, solid guy. He'll be out there calling everyone Muppets and being generally old man toxic, which is one of the reasons that they love him. So if nothing else,
some respect on the old man's name.
A Mighty Dex party. I don't know if you've ever been in a chat party with all of those guys. It's a good time.
There's no party like a Mighty Dex party, because a Mighty Dex party don't stop.
Yeah, there's something else. But the Swords have some pretty solid ones. Prodigy, whose numbers got a big boost early on because he played alongside Brendamore, but has continued to do well. So there was question about whether or not that was a boost, and he was just riding that. As his numbers slowly came down.
Did you not pay attention to medium-sized men last season?
I always pay attention. You can't. Hey, you're not allowed.
This is not new from Prodigy. These numbers are not new. Whether he's being carried by Brendamore for the first 3 games or not, these numbers aren't new.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying his numbers got extremely inflated very early on, and maintaining those kind of numbers were going to be impossible. But he is very good. It's crazy to think on a team...
He's played 30 games since then. Just let's drop it. Yeah?
I think him and Saney have built some good chemistry together since...
I agree.
The second half of the season. Middle of the season, Prodigy was a little stagnant, but I feel like they found their game and they started to turn it around late in the season, and looking forward to seeing how these two guys work together and try to take themselves to the second round of the playoffs here starting tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that a team that has Johnny Hockey on it is not featuring him as the player to watch. That's how good Prodigy is. So don't get me wrong. Dude's good. Deserves every bit of it. And he also they got You Got Mail, the defensive hit leader in the league, and then Superstar. And, with a save percentage, or look at all those saves, that number is almost as high as his ping. So as long as he can keep that under control, then they're in good shape, because Superstar at any time can be the best goalie in the league. he's just had a rough go of it a little bit this season compared to his normal numbers.
Indeed. But I still think that this matchup itself is going to be a good goalie duel. We see superstars show up when it matters, and Hulk Smash had an amazing regular season and first foray into Rink Rivals playoffs. It should be interesting to see how he fares.
Yeah, Fatal wants to remind us that Prodigy was a Fat Al dud at some point this season.
This is true.
Yeah.
I thought that message came from Rufio because that seems like a Rufio type message, but yes.
I also thought the exact same thing.
He was a dud. Fat Al did provide Prodigy with a dud status one.
For that one season.
He played one series this season. He played really bad.
Or one season. Yeah, one series, not one season. All right, let's take a look at the lineups.
Let's do it. You got it right. Here we go.
Yep.
And again, this might not be what it is, but this is what it was looking like near the end of the season.
Solid lineups all around, to be totally honest. The only things I will point out is that the Vorpal Swords are certainly right side heavy. No offense, Mike. Johnny Hockey and Costa is a fantastic right side. RJ and Sir Mike Knight is a good left side. I'm going to say this right now. Attack their left side decks. I don't need to tell them. They'll be coming your way, Mike. You avoid Costa at all costs. So that's news to no one. You know, when I look at these, and Ragai, you can attest to this. Yeah, I see you like wagging what I'm hoping is a finger at me. So what I see when I look at these, though, and I think the thing that's going to give the decks the edge here is that on the deck side, this is a group of guys who have played together forever. Yeah. Forever. And on the right side, I see some good players who are playing well together. But you just when teams are even, I lean on who has the better chemistry between them, and I think it's the decks. I just not by much. I think I said this is a series I expected to go to 7. So I just think when it comes down to it, you lean on chemistry and the party that it will be the decks chat is going to help them move forward.
Yeah,
Mike, you want to weigh in? I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Raga.
No, I was gonna say I agree. Like you said, chemistry is gonna play a key factor here. The decks made it to the finals of the farewell tournament with a relatively similar roster here. So, like you said, time and time again, they know what to expect of each other, and I think they might figure it out in the playoffs here. But I don't know. This matchup is it's on paper, it's one of the best ones. I just can't pick a winner in this one at this time because it all depends on who shows up those 2 nights. You have an off night and you're out of the playoffs. These teams are so close together. It could go either way.
Yeah, I agree. This will be, in my opinion, the tightest matchup.
Yeah,
I would think. So let's take a look at our studs, or not our studs, Fat Al's studs, and 2 people that I already spoke about. Frackside Street. I mean, the dude's been fantastic playing with his boys yet again. One day, I would like to see those guys play with other players. Maybe one day. And on the other side, the eternal Johnny Hockey. This dude has just, I mean, he's been in every league ever, and he continues to be amazing at all times. So, Faney, you're a stud all the time. And what's wild is I look at these numbers and I go, man, Saney had a down season. You know, like hitting numbers that I could never dream of. It's just kind of average for him, which is wild. But regardless, Johnny Hockey and Frackside are Fat Al's studs for this series. Mike, do you want to say anything before we go to the
About
next
frac
one?
side?
Sure.
Sure. I think you got it right. Frac side is, I mean, don't get me wrong, bar down Chandler, they hold their own, but frac side, like you said earlier, is a game changer. I've seen him play some of the best hockey, but I've also seen him play some of the worst.
Yeah, you'll
It
be
all depends
counting on
on
that
what
second
frac
one.
side shows up. However, the frac side when he shows up is dangerous.
Yeah,
For sure.
good shooter, strong player too, and he'll be on your side, so you'll get a good look at him. All right, moving on to the next series, the other one that I would consider the tightest. I don't feel like those numbers are 100% correct.
Oh no! What the hell did I do?
That would be wild. That would be pretty crazy if I'm just saying.
Give me one quick second to fix this. While we
That's
fix
fine.
this, let's go into the featured players.
Yeah, I'll just talk about. Oh, perfect. All right. So when it comes to just gonna send it, Jelly and Jalbert. I mean, those were the first two players that were on the team this season. Jelly, obviously, the manager. Jalbert, the first overall pick. You gotta think that these are the guys to watch. And Typing has been doing his very best to prove that all you need is a good defense in front of you to be carried all the way. Unfortunately, he's proving that, hey, maybe that statement isn't 100% true, and you do still have to be good at goalie. So Typing needs to choose now to be good at goalie, because it's been kind of a bumpy ride for him throughout all of this. And he's going up against, again, debatably the best goalie in the league in Zucky, debatably the best defender in the league in Rufio, and debatably the best forward in the league in Celtics. Like, everyone on that right side is a number one or number two at their position.
Yeah.
So
I'll completely agree with you on Celtics being a number two. I mean, we're forgetting about Young already. We just talked about him. But Celtics it pulls off some of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Mix Zubin with the others on the other side and Hoodler in the middle. It's just nasty. Rivaled only by the forward line of Talent Show are those three forwards. You mix in Rufio as the fourth forward, because he's always the fourth forward, and you get some nasty plays.
You're going to make him mad if you keep saying that. He's really trying to prove that he is also very defensively responsible, which he is, and I will say. But I will also point out a very fun stat that we discovered recently, and that is Zucky, and it says something about his defense, because Zucky has far and away the most breakaway saves and breakaway attempts. He's only let in one breakaway, which of the 15 that he has faced all season long. And I think the next closest guy is in the single digits. So, yes, Rufio, you get back sometimes because someone is letting up breakaways.
That's a big testament to bad defense. But I guess it's also confidence in your goalie. Clearly, I mean, 14 out of 15 on the season. And like you said, the next guy is in single digits. That's B-Crips with 8. And Typing has 8 as well. But I think that just shows confidence in your goalie there. Maybe a little too confident, though. Because you don't want to be letting up a lot of breakaways to this just going to send a team, that's for sure. This forward line is top-notch.
Don't forget, though, they got saddled at the beginning of the season with me. Those numbers might be inflated.
That's
deflated,
fair. You mean? Like
the breakaway numbers might be inflated.
Oh, yes. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
100%. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Look,
I just like hearing Zucky screaming French. It's just hilarious.
The job is to find some sort of flaw in some to prove, and I guess that would be the only one. So
there you go.
That they drafted me.
Yeah, that's their biggest flaw. Should have taken you in the second round. Their only flaw is that technically they don't have a full-time right D-man. And so they will be playing multiple players over there throughout the playoffs. Because Cloug. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry. It's probably French,
Clegg.
and I don't speak French. Clegg.
It's Clegg.
Clegg is part-time, and so is.
And a very good D-man. Very good.
I agree. And so for the 3 games he's available each series, that'll be great. But for the 4 games he's not, they will be leaning on. Let me just pull it up here. Sabrangi.
Rangy,
So
the man I got traded for.
Yep. So they'll be leaning on, and he'll be playing right side instead of left side like he prefers. That is the only weakness when it comes to Some to Prove, and they will we'll see how that matters or not. Now on the other side, they have similar problems in defense. That Jalbert is a very go forward kind of guy. And if the breakout pass isn't there, you have really cut into him. So, but they were all right. Yes, great. Let's look at the lineups.
You were talking about it, so you might as well go to it.
Perfect. Chewbacca, it's great. Dude's fantastic. Looking at you know what? Looking at this, that looks like the better pair.
Jalbert and Chewbacca.
I think. Yeah, Jalbert and Chewbacca. Yeah. I would say they're the number 2 and number 3 out of these 4 defensemen. If Sabrangi can lock it down and just stay back, just don't let those breakaways happen, then this will go Some to Prove's way.
I mean, you still need typing to be able to save a puck.
Just correct.
That's true.
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
I think the forward edge and the goalie edge go wholeheartedly to Some to Prove, and the defensive matchup is even. Is probably the way, even maybe slightly leaning towards Send It. So
what you're saying is you're giving away your picks already. You already know who you're picking here.
Oh yeah. Should I not be giving away yet?
No, go ahead. I'm just. But
it's Some to Prove.
Tight. Yeah.
It's tight, but it comes down to Some to Prove. And I don't know that lineup is going to be the one that they run. We talked about this on the show. They might use up Benz and LaGrange as fast as possible and try to get as big a lead as they can right off the bat. So
that might be a good idea. Yeah. Agreed. Go to the Fat House.
Yeah, Rufio is good at coaching, Atri. You're not wrong. He will tell you, and I like people that tell you what you're supposed to be doing if you're not doing the right thing. But yes, let's go look at Fat Al's studs. Easy picks.
No mistake,
yeah. Mike wants to say something about him.
No. That's, I mean, how do you not go with Jelly and Celtics?
Agreed. Jelly's the main puck carrier and setup man on that team, and Celtics is the do everything player for Some to Prove. I mean, the guy's he's as good as it gets. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's a great matchup between these two guys. Celtics came out of nowhere this season. Definitely not somebody that was on my radar before season 3 here. And Jelly, time and time again, Ice is one of the most competitive teams we see for Rink Rivals. So this is going to be a good one. I'm excited for this matchup. That's for sure. Second one I'm most looking forward to.
Barr does bring up a good point that Jalbert really is the main puck carrier for Just Gonna Send It. You would think so, to be honest, but he really prefers to go for the stretch passes over carry. He will try to send it almost every time, and only carry it when he has to.
Jalbert does lead possession by over 1,000 seconds, almost 900 seconds more than Jelly.
Does he really?
And then below that is Chewbacca at 5,000. So Jelly and Jalbert, those first two guys on the team, and those two guys are clearly what the team runs through. If it's not those two guys, it's probably not happening on the ice.
All right.
But
there you go.
We missed the stats, so we can go back over to those and go over those super quickly here and look at the head-to-head and how that went so far this season.
Yeah, head-to-head was a 2-1 victory for Some to Prove. The stats are generally in Some to Prove's favor. I mean, is there any that aren't. Nope. They lead every single one of these categories in the correct direction. So it looks awfully lopsided. This one, in my opinion, stands the chance to go big numbers in both ways. I could see this going both ways and ending up like thanks Bar, and ending up like a 6-7, 8-6, those kind of games. So
agreed.
Yep. All right.
Boom.
Let's jump over to the last matchup. Another one that I fear could be
the bad blood
get
matchup.
A little ugly. Yes, that is the best part about this whole thing is that there is some rivalry. Let's call it rivalry. That seems on brand.
That's a good word for it, for sure. Definitely a rivalry between these two managers.
Man,
between the two managers.
You guys are really, really going into that thesaurus on that one.
Let me think. What is it when two people have animosity towards each other? What word could I come up with? Atri
Battle Royale.
That's right. Obviously some drama between these guys that has spilled over publicly at times, and it should be a good one. The Bandits won their series, technically. But I don't think either of these teams were the teams they are now or anywhere close to them when that happened. So these are two very different teams from when that went down, but the Bandits will lean on that as their motivation because every other stat is pretty, yes, face-off wins aren't, but pretty handily in the Fellowship's bag. They are a heavy possession, 5-man defense kind of team, stifling defense, and holds the puck all the time. One of the most frustrating combos, a team that can shut you down and then just keep the puck for the whole game. So, oh man, they're a frustrating kind of team to play for or to play against. Great team to play for, especially as a defender.
Yes.
Because they utilize their defense a lot. But Backdoor Bandits are going to want to shoot more, get scored on less, and have the puck as much as possible.
Pretty solid analysis, and I would agree with you there. That's for sure. Fellowship leads the league in time on attack, so clearly they are a possession-based team. They're second place in possession, right behind the Decks by 20 seconds. So yeah, that's their strategy. That's the way that they like to play and the way they utilize their strengths. 2,000 seconds more than Backdoor Bandits. They seem like more of a running gun squad, but the series did go to Backdoor Bandits. You said they played a long time ago, but it was the most recent series that they just had that they played these two teams. So, I mean, it could go either way. We could see Backdoor Bandits have a bit of momentum going into this series after what happened last Wednesday, but on paper, though, Fellowship does look like the stronger team outside of the center spot, but Fellowship is in second place for a reason.
This is the Golden Company Elephants of Season 3 in the Fellowship.
Yeah, 100%.
These boys play exactly like that. And come playoff time, it is a tough team to go against. Backdoor Bandits, I know the regular season matchup went their way, but that goes out the door once playoffs come, and Fellowship are going to show up and show out.
Yeah, let's take a look at those lineups, and I'll say exactly why you're spot on with this. Because I said earlier, talking about when in doubt, I lean on teams that have played together a lot, and the Fellowship matchup. Those dudes have played together a lot. From what I understand, Imwags is one of their buddies as well. So that whole forward line, the only guys who are sort of slotted in are Piggy, who's a great dude who can slot in with anybody, and Stallion. So
CN, I put Stallion and goalie because that was what was submitted this afternoon. So don't shoot the messenger. Yeah, CN is pissed in the chat that he's not featured, but it's just what was submitted today. That was one of the only teammates that got a submitted lineup. So don't shoot the messenger. We are just doing what we're told. But no, these guys together as a squad, these guys are like the decks. They play together a lot in the evening when they're not in league. They know what each other is going to do when they're on the ice, and they use it to their advantage here for sure.
Yep, agreed. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's throw together squad that has done very well together, but not. This is not a chemistry team over on the left side. No. Go ahead, Mike.
In my opinion, the Fellowship also features one of, if not the best, deep pairing in the league right now in Piggy and Miniwick. Miniwick is absolutely outstanding, and Piggy is very, very solid.
Yeah, I do like Piggy, and Miniwick has been as good as always, and is, by the way, another guy who carries the puck a lot. So he's a big time.
Miniwick is top 3, and it's not 2, and it's not 3.
I don't know what stat you're looking at to get that.
Oh yeah, I'm quoting him.
I know. I'm well aware. That was me just taking a subtle jab at Miniwick. But looking at the Backdoor Bandits lineup, I mean, good players. I think if they'll get every game they can out of BK, out of Benny, who is part-time. If he was full-time, he could be a top end. I mean, he would be a top 5 probably in the league. So, you take every game you can get out of him, you earn those right off the bat. And then at some point, we'll probably see Atri have to drop back and play defense with Quinn Man. Quinn also good player, sneaky good. So, and then they'll get what they can out of B-Crips, who they'll play him when they can, and Texas will fill in when they can't. That's a pretty good. If you got a backup goalie, that's a good one to get. Texas, one of the best.
As long as he's not building the lineup, he's a good goalie.
The surprising Adam Hayward, who's done very well, will be playing right wing for them. So we'll be looking for a lot out of those guys. They're going to have to figure out a way to get past this 5-man defense. And let's see who we're looking at as our featured players. Did we already do featured
skipped over that? No, we skipped over that. Okay. But you talked about Mr. Guapo, Benny himself. He, despite being a part-time player, he's one of the players to watch for Backdoor Bandits on the back end there, for sure.
Yeah, if you sort of extrapolate those numbers out to a full season, I mean, that would put him right, top 6. I put him 6th in points, if you just doubled everything. So, I mean, the dude's been very good for all the time he's been on the ice. He just, he played his max game. So, and Atri is also holding it together up there. So, and then B-Crips, I mean, he could be a top end goalie if he had full availability, but that's them's the ropes. So, on the other side, Imwag's a guy I don't know personally. I've just seen some of his games, and he fits in very well with the way that they want to play up there. Miniwick, obviously, the quarterback for the team. And then CN65, kind of interesting that we're seeing his number, him up here. I don't know who's playing goalie. They're playing tricks on us. I think they're playing a little, they're being sneaky.
It's the first 3 are being played by Sam. Cian's playing the last 4.
Gotcha. So he'll play the majority of them. Well, no, yes. He'll play 1 is what's going to happen.
But calling it already.
Yeah.
And Cian, we all wish we could take away our bully stick stats, but that's just not how this works.
Not how this works, I'm afraid. So, yeah, I would love to see this series stretch out, but it just ain't gonna happen.
I mean, let's talk about the D-man outpoint per gaming the best forward on the team. Let's talk about that. Just saying,
That-
1.61 points per game is your top forward. It's not the way to get it done against a team like Fellowship.
Yeah.
Backdoor Bandits were a revolving door of players. They used a lot of waivers because of the way that their roster was built, and I think they've done well for what they are in terms of a roster, but individual players don't seem to stand out so much, and it's more of a team cohesive unit, whoever is playing in that game, be it a waiver or one of their rostered players.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to think positive for Backdoor Bandits just solely based on I want each series to be competitive as possible and no drama, but if on paper Fellowship is just the better team here, as you guys have said, and we all agree with.
Yeah. It's just, I just don't. Good luck. I hope they are able to string together a couple, but I would not be surprised if this was 4-0. Like you said, Fellowship is a friends team, plays together forever. Backdoor Bandits is like the opposite of a friends team, and they just don't have the chemistry. So I'm worried. And yes, you're not wrong, Title. Players did demand trades, and sort of there were egos and issues over on Backdoor Bandits, and it got a little messy throughout the season. So they're kind of lucky to even be in the playoffs, to be honest. But all right, so there it is. That's. Oh wait, no, we gotta look at our players. Our studs. Fat out studs.
He wasn't shown here, but yeah. What was he shown?
Big J.
Was Big J shown?
Yeah, he was shown. He's playing center. He was the first round pick for the Vorpal Swords, eventually got traded over to the Bandits, so he will be leaned on heavily to bring that sort of pedigree along with him. And Imwags, who was definitely not a first round pick, was way down in the draft pool, I believe 4th round, and he was one of the guys I just sort of touched on briefly when I was talking about players that have been a boom, playing way above their draft level. And Imwags, he's been fantastic. So yeah, I think these are two good players to watch, and you'll see a lot of the action go through Big J, and you'll see a lot of the action go sort of revolve around Imwags, even if he's not necessarily the one with the puck on his stick.
Agreed. Definitely.
Absolutely agree. Nothing to add.
Yep.
That is our
All
4
right.
matchups.
Except Piggy for Norris.
For Norris. Yes, and all of these will begin tomorrow at 9 o'clock. That is Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And you'll be able to jump in, get the call from Fat Al himself. I'm hoping to be able to pop in and out if I am able to do so. So I'm sure you'll hear me throughout Tuesday and Wednesday. And we'll see. I don't know for sure who's playing 4 games and who's playing 3 games tomorrow. We'll have that locked in. I think the deadline was tonight. So,
yeah, just waiting on one last matchup. And we shall get that.
Right.
Something to prove and just going to send it. Still waiting on those.
Yep.
But we do have... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say we do have one more thing before we can sign off. We all made some bold predictions. Some of us way more bold than others. I don't know. Are we going to show Fat Al's predictions?
I will pull it up. I don't have it prepared, but let me get that ready super quick while we go through your guys,
Okay.
and then I'll go do mine.
Because he made some predictions, and I want you all to make fun of him. So, mainly because I don't think it's even possible, to be honest. I don't even know how it would work out. But we all made predictions not just for the round 1 and round 2. We just jumped straight to the finals.
Yes.
We each picked 2 teams and how many games it's going to be. And I fully expect to be ridiculed when I tell mine. Right, guy, you ready? You want me to go first? Or is Mike going first?
I got Mike's. Whatever you guys want. You guys figure it out. We'll go either of you.
Okay. Tell you what, I'll go first because I sort of alluded to it. In the finals, I think you see the two best teams in the league. And that, to me, is Talent Show and Some to Prove. And that's no knock to Fellowship, who I think is very, very close third. And if it comes down to Talent Show and Some to Prove, again, you lean on people who have played together all season long, and the lineup for Talent Show has been pretty consistent all the way through. They have no part-time players. They will play the same five on the same five skaters and the same goalie for the entire playoffs. And I think that will come to benefit them, and they will win over Some to Prove. But I'm guessing it will take six. Did I say 6 games? I think 6 games sounds right. I don't think you're going to just roll through Some to Prove. But uh-oh. Did you just shut the stream down?
No. What's going on?
No, I'm sorry. I heard the noise and it threw me off.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, Talent Show. I think they take it in 6. Yes, cue the people making fun of me.
Big surprise. Scripts went with Swizz.
Yeah,
what a surprise.
The low-hanging fruit of the number 1 team in the league winning. It's so difficult. All right.
How many had that on their bingo card?
Everyone. That's the free square in the middle. All right, Mike, go ahead and tell us why you're not going to pick your team.
Because I don't pick my team. It's just not something I do. Anybody who has watched the Sin Bin knows that last season I never picked medium-sized men. This season I will not be picking the S words. It is, I believe I put Fellowship and Something to Prove in the finals. And I have Something to Prove taking it. I don't remember how many games I said, but
we did not provide that. Only Scripps did that.
Yeah. Okay. You guys need to get on your game.
I know, clearly. And for me, pretty much similar. I have similar sentiments that you guys had shared throughout the broadcast this evening, and my 2 choices are Talent Show and Fellowship. Teams 1 and 2 throughout the season. I think it's Young's time to shine. We like to make fun of his turnovers and the things that he says, but make no mistake, and 0 playoff goals. Yes, true, very true. But he is one of the top players in this league for a reason. However, when it comes to winning games and when it comes to winning championships, we have seen Golden Company Elephants, aka Fellowship, win season 2, and I expect them to win again in season 3. They're going to come to play. They're going to be cohesive as a group, and they're going to be the team to take home the season 3 Rink Rivals Cup and add to their trophy case / get another t-shirt. Those lucky guys. That's my guess here.
I heard the winner has to play Something to Prove for our medium-sized men.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
For the t-shirt?
Yeah. Because medium-sized men need to lose in the finals. It's a tradition at this point.
What it is. We're just going to put them together just to come into the finals and lose one.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. Look, we are crazy folks in that we each picked one of the top 3 teams.
Yes.
Wild. But if you want crazy, he put it in the chat.
I have it. Oh, he did? Did he do it?
Yeah. Okay. No, go ahead. Put that out.
Let me throw it up on the screen as well. One quick second. Here we go. Okay, so sorry guys, 1 second. To his final prediction. His prediction. So his finals prediction was Talent Show and the Decks, which you guys can shit on them all you want, but the Decks made it to the finals of the farewell tournament, and they have a similar squad this season. Anything could happen in the Rink Rivals playoffs. Shit on Fatal all you want, but who the hell knows?
Honestly, originally he didn't have Talent Show, and so I was a little more confused. But yes, this is a little bit better, for sure.
Did he change it, or did I fuck up?
No, you got it right. That's what he put in the thing. But originally he didn't have Talent Show, I don't think. And
his final winner was talent show. That's what he picked. At least what I seen him send over. Maybe I fucked it up.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
No, he got it right. He got it right.
Okay.
Yeah, the Decks, they're a buddy team, and maybe it clicks at the right time, and they get a hot goaltender, and Mags stays awake for Game 7.
He's that coffee. He's good.
They allow him to drink coffee in the old folks home that late?
He
sneaks it in. Well, that's why he's got his. That's why he's on his buddies team, because he's got his buddies to help him out here. Clearly,
he's got one of those walkers that's actually just a big flask. So he just like tips up the whole walker.
It's got that straw. It just comes up.
Yeah, it's like a camelback. Yeah. So there you go. We're all a bunch of chickens and picked the top 3 teams to win it all. But if I'm just being realistic, I think there's a good chance of these 2 teams, any one of us, to be honest, all 3 of these teams have the best shot of getting there. So at some point they're going to match up against each other, and we'll have there'll be a coming to Jesus for one of these teams. So, but there you have it, guys. All right. Now, that's the playoffs preview in a nutshell. If you want more of this, you can certainly go listen to me, Swizz, and Accurate talk about it. There'll be, obviously, the games coming up tomorrow and Wednesday, and then on Thursday, you can catch Rinkside, and Fatal will go over a bunch of other stuff, as well as some announcements and things like that we have lined up for you. I do want to go ahead and make a couple, basic announcements that I've made a few times already as the season went on, and that is, if you are interested in being a manager for the upcoming season, please just message anyone. Just message any one of the ELT or media people. Let us know, and we'll add you to the list. And we like collecting those names early and often. So.
Wake up to all the people that were bitching about being on a team with a terrible manager.
That's it. There's your answer. If you want to guarantee that you get on a team you want to be on, there's no better way than to pick that team yourself. So I look forward to a lot of people. I look forward to a lot of people signing up to be managers, given the way that they were talking throughout the season. So. The other thing that we'll throw out is, we're always on the hunt for media stuff. So if you have what you think would be interesting for the media team, let us know. Even if it's just an idea for something. So, we always open to everything. We have homeless media people that are trying to find a home, and we want to collect more strays. So, please, give us a shout. We're always looking for new content and new stuff, and we want to bring you as much as we possibly can. So, like I said,
as long as you don't rap at the beginning of your show, just send it.
Please, if you do, please let me know. I could really use a new intro. So yeah, and not just for on air and on voice and that kind of stuff. We also need people who give us all the good ideas and do all the cool stuff in the background. Someone please help Rag Guy. But I'm sure he wouldn't complain if we had someone else who could do a lot of the tech stuff in the background.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, just let us know. Like I said, you can message anybody. Any of the ELT, any of the media people, and I've already talked to a couple people, so we have some things in the works. I know people have contacted you, Mike, as well. So we're working on getting as much as we possibly can for you. So yeah, as far as any other announcements, I will leave that to Rinkside. So make sure you stick around for them, because he's got stuff to talk about this upcoming Thursday. It should be exciting. And hopefully we'll be getting more 12s in. I've seen lots of 12s action. None of the streamed 12 stuff, but I've seen lots of 12s action going down on the Discord. So if you're looking for games right now, there's plenty happening on Discord. So make sure you jump in. And I recommend just joining a chat. don't even wait for an invite. That's my recommendation. Just jump in there and force your way in.
The Scribs way.
That's the
I'm here, guys. I'm here.
Start talking. Yep.
Yeah, but you get the media boost. Everybody's like, oh, gotta move over for Scribs. No, I'm kidding.
That's why Rufio is really trying to get the doors open. You know what my big beef is, Rufio? I don't know how to say that. There's no easy way with the way your name is pronounced.
Rufio-Ooters?
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't sound good. That sounds bad, actually.
Maybe a rebrand before it opens is necessary.
That's exactly. You gotta rebrand. You need to rebrand, Rufio. Come up with. It's got to have a better name. A Roofie Hooters? I don't think you should say that.
No, because that sounds like we might get if we're what do you call it? Advertising that, we might get shut down here. I don't think that
sounds like a place where the straws turn colors. So we don't want that.
No, probably not.
Rufio's wait. Yeah, well, think on it.
Work in progress.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it too hard. All right, I'll ruminate later. But alrighty, man. Well, tell you what, I'm just vamping at this point. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Ragai, did I miss anything? Did I forget anything?
No, we are good. You covered it all. We have touched on everything that we had for this evening.
All right. And I have drank 2 bottles of water during this, so I need to wrap this up ASAP. So, Mike, I see you poised. Is there any last minute shout outs? Anything you want to say before we sign off?
Always, whether there's one of us or 2 of us, keep the faith.
That's right. Ragai, you want to throw anything out?
Just very excited for the playoffs this week and next week. Looking forward to seeing how everyone pans out because it's going to be exciting matchups. And as we've seen time and time again, each season we have unpredictable things go down. Nobody expected just going to send it to get eliminated last season. I know power lines go out, people get taken out, but I don't know. There we go. Anything could happen, and I'm looking forward to helping Fadal and you call the games and seeing how we're looking at the end of round 1 on Wednesday evening. But no, good show tonight and good stuff all around.
Yep, we appreciate all of you out there in the chat who joined us this evening and join us all season long and will be joining us with the playoffs. So until then, keep the faith. Don't forget to pass to your D-man and keep the rivalry alive.
Championship! Oh my god, they got it!
Passes on goal, wrap around, score! North shoots right on net, Audacity, it's in his face, it's in!